I'm just gonna come right out. I have no idea what's going on or what this place is at all.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 live-action scenes in animated movies.
Go, Hasselhoff!
Next stop, Bikini Bottom!
Why are the robots shooting other robots? Aren't they supposed to be friends?
I don't know! I'm the artist! You're the writer!
Ay, Dios mío.
It's gotta be them.
If it is, I don't want to know about it.
They don't even know we exist.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most memorable instances wherein animated flicks made the brief transition into live-action filmmaking. Only those movies that are mostly, if not almost entirely animated outside of the scene in question are eligible, while films that blend live-action and animation throughout, no matter the ratio, are excluded. Do you like seeing live-action sequences in an otherwise animated film? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. So Much World. Playmobil the Movie. Considering other flicks that have been based on toys and games, it's perhaps not too shocking that this musical comedy based on figurines was a bit of a box office failure and a critical disaster.
What's taking you idiot pirates so long? I could have captured an entire Viking horde myself and been home for dessert by now!
I think we found just what you'd be looking for.
I'm not paying you to think!
But it's not Playmobil's story or premise that puts it here. Revolving around siblings Marla and Charlie as they're taken into Playmobil's computer animated world, the English language French production opens with a family-friendly musical number where Big Sis sings her way through the house with little bro in tow.
There's so much world out there, and I got to see it all.
Foreshadowing their big adventures while also showing off some of the German building toys in real life, the live-action scene is one of the brighter and more subtle spots of the film.
We'll study history in the places history was made, learn all about real knights and how the Romans stayed.
Number 9. Tollbooth Unpacking. The Phantom Tollbooth. We're going old school with our next pick by traveling back to 1970 with the Phantom Tollbooth.
What's there to do?
Nothing, I guess. Nothing is fun anymore.
Right. Everything's a big waste of time.
Though seldom seen even upon release, if there's one thing this Chuck Jones project is remembered for, it's its witty, erudite sense of humor that permeates the animated landscape.
Stop! Make up your mind. You're holding up traffic.
We get a brief taste of this early on when the disillusioned Milo comes across a mysterious package sitting in his living room.
Poor Milo, who has plenty of time.
So bored he'll investigate anything, Milo unwraps it only for a wacky-looking toll booth to appear, complete with miniature car. Back in the day, we're sure this funky little cinematic effect was quite neat for audiences, as it cleverly set the tone for what's to come. Number 8. Storytelling in Central Park. Balto. Much like this 1995 cult classic is regaling the audience with the legend of the real-life sled dog known as Balto, punctuating the animated core of the movie is a woman doing the same for her young granddaughter. Strolling through Central Park, they search for the statue erected in Balto's honor to little avail, and it isn't until the story is complete that they finally find it.
What does it say?
Dedicated to the
Indomitable
spirit of the sled dog.
With the little girl having now been acquainted with Balto's heroics, the film ends on a reflectively appreciative note, especially when the grandmother is revealed to be the grown-up Rosie, whom Balto saved from diphtheria.
Thank you, Balto. I would have been lost without you.
It's at this point that we feel like we were entertained and learned a little something in the process.
Balto really did do all of that, didn't he, Grandma?
Oh yes, sweetheart, he really did. And today they run the Iditarod dog race over the very path he and the others took.
Number 7. Sponge and Spiker. James and the Giant Peach. Even when he's just in the producer's chair, we don't think anyone would accuse a Tim Burton movie of being bright and cheerful.
Then, one day, a terrible thing happened. An angry rhinoceros appeared out of nowhere and gobbled up his poor mother and father.
While James and the Giant Peach has plenty of amusement for kids, it doesn't skimp on its darker elements, particularly in the beginning. Embodying the wicked stepsister's archetype to James's Cinderella are his abusive aunts, Sponge and Spiker.
Eat up, you little worm! We sent you out here to kill a spider!
Not to laze about.
I wasn't lazing about, I tripped.
How dare you disagree with us?
Beat him, Sponge.
Before James enters the stop-motion animated world of the Peach, he's put through the emotional ringer when he's forced to perform an endless series of chores. The Peach sequences are thus that much more enjoyable when juxtaposed with such a dreary live-action alternative, though of course the ants receive their just desserts in the end.
Well, I'll be the kid was telling the truth.
Number 6. Marine World. Happy Feet. Back in 2006, Happy Feet was lauded for its breathtaking computer-generated imagery in depicting its Antarctic landscape and the penguins that inhabit it. However, where the film chooses to diverge from this practice is in the brief depiction of humans.
Ay, Dios mío.
It's gotta be them.
If it is, I don't want to know about it.
They don't even know we exist.
While certain scenes use motion capture to create various researchers, a third act segment set at an aquarium brings live-action actors into the fold.
Hello! Hello from Emperor Land. Good afternoon. Why are you taking our fish? I'm sure you don't mean to, but you're causing an awful lot of grief.
After Mumble is found and placed in an exhibit, he loses his sense of hope. Then, a live-action girl interacts with him, prompting him to start dancing his way to freedom. The merged filmmaking styles can be a bit jarring, but adding live actors to the mix cements the film's emotional resonance. Number 5. Stuffed Animals. Winnie the Pooh. As the A.A. Milne biopic Christopher Robin reminded us, the characters of the 100-Acre Wood have a long and storied history dating back to the early 20th century, when the majority of them were inspired by Milne's son Christopher Robin's toys.
It's a little world. Like you said, a 100-acre paradise.
Of course, when we think of Pooh and the gang now, we likely think of their various incarnations in animated media when underneath the Disney banner.
Thank you all ever so much.
However, the brisk and delightful 2011 adventure simply titled Winnie the Pooh does well to remember this colorful history, as we get a brief glimpse at the stuffed versions of the characters in Christopher Robin's bedroom to start the film. In short, we can't think of a more charming opening.
Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, willy-nilly silly old bear.
Number 4. Sock Puppet Future. Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. After years of being inundated with superhero adaptations, 2017's Captain Underpants, the first epic movie, was a satirical breath of fresh air, as it delightfully poked fun at the genre. Not only that, but it largely retained the zany humor found in Dave Pilkey's book series.
Look! Up in the sky! It's a bird! It's a plane!
It's an egg salad sandwich!
And guess what? I'm rotten!
Just one such example is a scene earlier on in which George and Harold dread the prospect of being placed in separate classes, as it will irrevocably ruin their friendship.
We'll still be best friends, just way down the hall from each other. Well, what am I talking about? This is bad. Long-distance relationships never work.
This is just the beginning. Imagine the future.
Harold then acts out a dystopian future with sock puppets, wherein the two are virtually strangers.
You'll have a weird haircut. I'll be wearing a suit for some reason. And before we know it, separate classes will lead to separate lives, which inevitably leads to robots.
What? Why are there robots at the mall?
Because this is the future.
However, since Harold is only the cartoonist half of their writing-artist duo, the daydream soon falls off the rails. Number 3. CEO of By and Large. WALLE. Even for a Pixar movie, there's almost nothing conventional about WALLE, as evidenced by its nearly dialogue-free first act. Set in the 29th century, the story picks up with an Earth that has been ravaged by human consumerism and waste.
Too much garbage in your face? There's plenty of space out in space. B&L Starliners leaving each day. We'll clean up the mess while you're away.
From there, we follow a trash compactor bot named WALLE, who tracks the human race to an intergalactic cruise liner where people have become obese and lethargic with a lack of purpose. This chain of events leads the ship's captain to uncover a centuries-old transmission from Shelby Forthright, By and Large's CEO, played by Fred Willard, who orders Earth to be forgotten.
Hey there, autopilots. Got some bad news. Operation Cleanup has, failed. Wouldn't you know, rising toxicity levels have made life unsustainable on Earth.
Unsustainable?
It's a humorous little scene, but one with thematic depth, as we learn that people have lost their live-action features over time.
I can't just sit here and do nothing. That's all I've ever done. That's all anyone on this blasted ship has ever done. Nothing.
On the axiom, you will survive.
I don't want to survive. I want to live.
Number 2. David Hasselhoff saves the day. The SpongeBob SquarePants Movie. Baywatch was a show ripe for parody, but few have done it better than the SpongeBob SquarePants Movie. When SpongeBob and Patrick are captured by a scuba diver and stranded at a seaside gift shop, they find themselves with no way to get back to Bikini Bottom in time to save Mr. Krabs.
This doesn't look too good, Patrick.
You mean we're not gonna get the crown, save the town, and Mr. Krabs?
I don't even think we're gonna be able to save ourselves, buddy.
Enter David Hasselhoff running in slow motion.
I can take you there.
Who are you?
I'm David Hasselhoff.
Hooray!
Of course, that is the go-to Baywatch gag, but then seeing SpongeBob and Patrick ride Hasselhoff like a jet ski is priceless. The superhero sequence in the sequel, Sponge Out of Water, is fun in its own right, as is Keanu Reeves' turn as Sage in SpongeBob on the Run.
Maybe we should have picked a better superpower for you, Patrick.
But there's just no beating being rescued by Mitch Buchanan himself. You done good, Hasselhoff. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Man Upstairs, the Lego Movie. With the Lego Movie being as meta as it is, it's surprising that we didn't see the revelation that all of Bricksburg and its surrounding realms are part of a child's playset coming.
I'm just gonna come right out. I have no idea what's going on or what this place is at all.
So imagine our surprise when Emmett plummets into the abyss only to end up an actual Lego piece in a live-action basement. This, of course, begets the introduction of Finn, the young boy whose imagination drives the story, and the Man Upstairs, who is actually Finn's father, played by Will Ferrell.
You know the rules. This isn't a toy.
It kind of is.
No, actually, it's a highly sophisticated interlocking brick system.
But we bought it at the toy store.
We knew Ferrell was in the movie, with him voicing President Business, but to see him suddenly in the flesh was a real treat. The sequel replicates this bit with Maya Rudolph as the mom, but there's no topping the first.
I need close to childbirth. Very close in pain level to childbirth.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.